All right, we're in midweek of the season, and I'm a little underwhelmed. Not much had changed from the beginning of the season to now. We got our first cutscene in the intro part of the season, and then we saw what happened to Osiris, aka Savathun, and all that stuff. The interaction with Crow up to this point, the development between Crow, Petra, and Marasov, and now we've hit this stagnant point of collecting the Techions. Now we got to wait that out to see what happens next. Hopefully something happens next week because there is no more. We're on week 7, and you should by this point everyone should be finished the weekly quest connected to the Season of the Lost. I don't have it in my inventory anymore at this point, so I'm not sure what is to come. But I'm hoping we get something. It's been lackluster this entire time. 7 weeks of just the same. Go into the seasonal activity, 6-man activity, then go into the dungeon, seasonal dungeon, right? 6-man activity, seasonal dungeon, 6-man activity, seasonal dungeon. And I actually kind of like this. I didn't even pay this any mind on how they were doing this from the start, I guess, because they pretty much introduced a seasonal dungeon after Season of the Chosen, right? Like Season of the Chosen was pretty much you go in, you fight in different footholds across the solar system, and then Season of the Splicer comes in, and now we're dedicated to a specific dungeon. Again, those dungeons in Season of the Splicer was a mix of the Chosen as well, where you would go into these dungeon missions located in different locations. This season, though, is a little bit different, a little bit short, right? They cut it down to where they had us going in and doing a small portion of that same kind of style activity, but now we're just doing a specific dungeon in one location, and it rotates every week inside that dungeon. Doesn't go anywhere. It just you log into that same specific place. So that's kind of interesting to me is how they decided to do that. And honestly, it was boring to say the least. Outside of the variety that they were giving us every week, with the rotation, there's only 3 different versions of it, right? You go to left, right, and then middle. Didn't really feel too much different, and it didn't give me like a sense of like, hey, I'm progressing even more. I'm doing something different every time we go in here. Outside of the fact that you unlock all these little specialties in the Wayward Compass down in the helm, which was cool. You know, you added and it extended the timer for every little kiosk that you could touch. That's what I'm gonna call them, as kiosk basically. But you could basically go in, touch them, and then it would and then the time would get extended based off of what you purchased here. Which by this point, no matter what, everyone should have been able to pretty much unlock all of this stuff pretty easily every week, even before you got to that week. So it was cool enough to have to do these, but the repetitiveness just was too daunting again. At least, well, in the other seasons, it was just as bad, just because you had to do the seasonal activity, then go out and do regular stuff to get some of the materials to level up things and whatnot. And that became repetitive. Whereas this one is a little bit more tedious. You have to go in, and on top of it, you have to wait for the rotation of the week to come back if you missed anything in a particular dungeon area, again, because they're on rotation. So not a huge fan of that. Outside of that, the experience that I had playing each activity was pretty good. Like I liked the variety that they tried to put into the dungeon, but as far as the seasonal activity goes, it was same situation again. This time slightly different. We just did a different version of the blind well, where we had to pretty much kill all the enemies. It was a mix of the blind well and what was the other activity that it was kind of doing? I guess you could say all of the Season of Splicer activity was kind of like mashed into there a little bit too. But it was just us doing the blind well basically over and over with little different objectives in each one. Pretty much dunk the ball. We were playing Rift during these activities basically. So nothing too special there. I thought they would have at least had multiple rotations on that as well. I believe they had 3 different rotations in that one. It might have been 2. Like you go to the 2, you start off in one of the 2 different areas with the their plates. Actually, no, there were 3 different areas if I'm not mistaken. No, I could be wrong. I might be thinking 3, and it's just you start in the blind well. You get teleported once, teleported twice, then back in the blind well. So that didn't really. That was tedious because you had to go in there multiple times to get your rewards throughout the week. That's another thing I'm kind of disliking, is that the reward system for the week is kind of lacking. Like, I feel like the workup to get to your pinnacle is just a little bit too much there. But these are my thoughts. That's how I feel about it. I'm just gonna leave it there. You guys let me know how you felt about it down in the comment section down below. And y'all know what to do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and cared for my opinion. And then also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content on the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.